Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into the incredibly intense, totally shadowy world of elite crisis management. We're going to explore exactly what it takes to become an architect of silence, how the world's most powerful people make their absolute biggest problems vanish into thin air, and honestly, the terrifying personal cost of manipulating reality itself. Let's get right into it. Okay, picture this. It's 3 a.m. Your phone rings. A massive pop star just ran over a pedestrian in West Hollywood. They didn't call the cops. No, they called you. And the clock starts instantly. You have exactly a 40-minute window to make this entire event just disappear. At 0 minutes, the call drops. By minute 15, you're on the scene literally bribing witnesses. By minute 30, you are physically scrubbing the dash cam footage. And why the mad rush? Because at minute 40, the news choppers arrive. If you fail, it's a global scandal. But if you succeed, well, it's like it never even happened. So here's the real secret to this whole shadow economy. Your job isn't about finding the truth at all. It's about insulation. It's about protecting the global elite by literally altering reality. The source material points out something fascinating. Information is really just ones and zeros, right? If you can manipulate those ones and zeros, say making a DUI vanish from a database, or structuring a massive settlement completely off the public record, you create immense value out of thin air. In this world, knowledge isn't just power, it is absolutely the ultimate currency. Let's see how this career actually builds, starting at the absolute bottom. Level 1, the PR gopher. At this stage, you are treated as totally invisible labor. I mean, the big players literally view you as furniture in the room. You're just there to fetch information, figure out camera angles, and scrub digital footprints. But make no mistake about it, you are being heavily scrutinized every single second to see if you have the discipline to keep your mouth shut while the bosses stay safely hidden in the background. Once you prove you can keep quiet, you step up. Level 2, the fixer. Now, you're the one managing the crazy accounting gymnastics needed to make a massive payoff look like a complete ghost on a corporate spreadsheet. You don't just write a personal check to silence a witness, right? No way. Step 1, you set up 8 different LLCs in places like Wyoming and Delaware. Basically, empty boxes built just to make the money dance. Step 2, you zip those funds internationally from Cyprus to Panama, making the trail totally invisible. And finally, step 3, you classify this massive payout as a mere rounding error. Because honestly, who really notices a few million missing on a random Tuesday, right? Boom, problem solved, trail broken. And then the game turns into high-stakes chess. Level 3, strategic consigliere. 63. That is the size of the massive operation you are now managing. You oversee a dedicated staff of 63 people. We're talking elite IT crews, highly trained security details, and fix-it runners whose sole job is to keep your crisis management machine humming smoothly. And at this point, you answer only to the supreme boss, orchestrating an entire symphony of silence. So the crucial point here is the immense leverage you hold at this level. You're the only person in the room allowed to look a trillionaire in the eye and tell them they're flat out wrong. You know exactly which private clinics have glass walls for absolute discretion. You hold leverage over associates in the police department who will file quiet reports without asking a single question. You are seamlessly, quietly directing reality for the people who literally run the world. But extreme power demands a terrifying cost. The price of power. Now, the glamour of this life, undeniable. You trade a normal existence for a glass penthouse and a watch that costs more than most people's houses. But the reality behind it is absolute, terrifying isolation. You have no real friends, because in this line of work, a friend is just a weakness someone else can use against you. You live in constant paranoia. You're checking your car for trackers every single morning, and you never, ever sit with your back to the door in a restaurant. And you know, this leads to a pretty chilling realization. The source text actually describes you at this point as the very, very expensive loose end. By spending your entire life building perfect, untouchable lives for other people, you've completely erased your own identity. You know exactly where every digital body is buried. You know every dirty secret. And that makes you a massive liability to the very people you've been protecting. Which drops us right into the terrifying climax of this career path. The ultimate loose end. Just picture this scene from the text. It's 3 a.m. You are standing in your own 60-seat home theater. It's completely empty. The only sound in the room is the mechanical hum of your own security cameras tracking your movements. They stop when you stop. They follow when you move. In this moment, the absolute isolation hits you. You realize you have zero free will. You thought you were the king of the shadows, right? The architect of reality. But the truth is, you're just a pawn all along. Literally just another number being moved to a different column on someone else's spreadsheet. As we wrap up this explainer on the golden cages of the global elite, I want you to consider the raw reality and the ethical weight of this kind of power. If you had the ability to make any scandal in history completely disappear, which one would you fix? It is a fascinating thought experiment that really challenges how we view truth and consequence. Keep questioning the realities being constructed around you, and I will see you next time.